Well, in actual fact, the opposite was the case. Christianity grew up in a place that was colonized. I mean, it was the Romans that colonized the Jews, and Christianity grew up in that place. But I'm sure what a lot of people would think of is that European countries that were predominantly Christian countries carried out most of the colonization and some of the really dark sides of that. So the church was certainly associated with that. But their motivation was probably different. They were wanting to address spirituality and share that, but there was an arrogance with that in that there was not always respect for indigenous perspectives or perspectives in those countries where there were other world religions like Islam or Hinduism or whatever. So it's a bit of a mixed history. But what's important in New Zealand is not to see it as one-dimensional. So missionaries came over here, but the Māori church, and there's some very good research by Hirani Ka, who's just published a book on this, the Māori church took off on itself. I mean, much of Christianity grew through down the North Island before missionaries ever got there, from one Māori pa to another, people passing the story on. So Christianity certainly came with colonization, and the church in parts did aid colonization and are responsible for some of the dark sides or the bad sides of colonization, no question. However, the Māori church itself developed by itself alongside the work of missionaries, and people made choices around that have led to the most recent scholarship showing that it wasn't just a one-dimensional process. There was a number of other things going on. So I think the issue now is, if you take out the Anglican Church, which this church is a part of, we now have a 3 tikanga church, 3 archbishops, each with equal power. We have the Pihopatanga, the Māori church, and no decisions in the Anglican Church can now be made without the support of a majority of the 3 tikanga, Pacifica, Māori, and the Pākehā New Zealand European Church. And so we have tried to put the treaty at the centre of this process. We're still learning, there's still a long way to go, but there's definitely a very strong attempt to redress some of the worst sides of colonisation and to build a much more inclusive church.